Hey, how's it going, Ronin, man? So I don't know if it's because I'm here on vacation in Australia and just really enjoying it or what, but I had this dream and it was really vivid, and I was back in my youth, and I used to skateboard down hills, right? Back then we'd ride, half pipes and down hills and try to gun hills. And then, of course, you eat shit at the bottom because you're going too fast and the board speed wobbles all over the place. And anyway, but it was totally hopeless, It's like, if you ever did make it down to the bottom of a hill without eating shit, nobody cared, It was like, you're just sitting there, like you're almost traumatized because we'd go so fast and we'd have no pads at all, like just sandals and shorts. And when we ate shit, it was like, I remember one time I lost all my fingernails, and ground down like part of my hand. It was like blood everywhere. That was like happened all the time. This is before the internet, guys. So, be grateful. Oh, man. I got a really bad story once. But anyway, so I had this dream. And in this dream, I was gunning this hill. But it was funny because I wasn't on a skateboard in the dream. I was on a big wheel. Which had these big plastic wheels. And I remember I did gun a hill on a big wheel once. I took my foot off the pedals because they didn't, you couldn't coast. You had to. So anyway, I went down this one hill once and I hit a fence and my face almost got knocked off by a 2x4. But in this dream, I was on a big wheel, and it was a 4-wheel big wheel, which doesn't make sense because there's 3 wheels. But anyway, I was on a 4-wheel big wheel and I was going down this hill, and I remember looking to this left, and there was ice plant everywhere, which is a plant that was in California. And it was real clear. Like, when you see something in a dream, it's like, fuck, it's like, just, you see it almost like mist or dripping off of the plant, like just clear as day. Anyway, I looked over, I saw the ice plant. That reminded me, okay, and now, I'm back. And I was gunning this hill, and I was going down the hill. As I went down the hill, I came flying by a policeman with like a radar thing. And so he saw I was speeding, or I wasn't supposed to be around the big wheel, whatever. And then I came down to the bottom of the hill, and I was going so fast, I was going to try to turn left. But the road that I was going to turn left on, the big wheel has plastic wheels, right? So there's no grip at all. You can't do a corner, right? But I'm trying to make a corner. So I look and I can't make it. So I turned to try to turn up the left, but it didn't work. So then I went off the road into this. It was like just rocks and ice plant flying up, and I'm going like really fast. Like I'm probably going like in the dream. I'm probably going like 70 miles an hour. Like stuff's just flying up. Rocks are hitting me in the head. And I'm going sideways, and then I'm sliding sideways because there's another road parallel that I'm trying to turn left on, that one. And I think that was a road in my childhood that went up to my junior high school. Real steep road. So I'm going there, and then I can still see the cop. The cop is now in front of me. He's waiting for me, right? And I'm going sideways, and rocks are flying up, and I'm holding on just for dear life, like just totally doing the impossible. Like I'm going through this, like this field, with just like rocks and trees, and like it's impossible what I'm doing. Like, but like I'm holding on. When like shits hit you in the face when you're a kid, like you just so you're just totally fucked, right? So anyway, so I'm doing that, and I held on, and then I hit the curb on the other side, and I went over the curve. I made it, and then I slid, and I went up the hill like I was supposed to be there, just like perfectly stopped. And then the cop was there, and he gave me a ticket, and then but I remember he looked at me with this like look of, even though he was giving me a ticket, he looked at me like, this kid's gonna make it. Like, how the fuck did he do that? The cops, they're humans too, right? And that was I think that's like a metaphor for my life, is like I'm trying to do something, and it just totally doesn't work. And then it's just like a matter of just fucking holding on, and rocks hitting you in the face, and just totally hopeless, like where you just you can't do it. There's no way through. There's no way to get to the other side. And just holding on, just fucking holding on, and then making it. And I think that really is a metaphor for my life. And a lot of guys I know that they're on Ronin, man, like have just been through kind of the impossible. It's like you can't make that turn. Like plastic wheels don't grip. You can't do that. But you do. And I think that's sometimes like the biggest challenges or like I don't know, what do you call it, like disasters end up being opportunities for people like us to survive and to actually make real changes. Like for example, like when you reach a point when there is no option, right? And you have to either kind of give up or fucking hold on, right? That's the only choice. Like you don't even have options yet. Like you don't even see any options, really. I mean, you know what you're trying to do, but it's like there's no realistic option to get to that point. And I think for men right now, like, I'm here in Australia and like I'm watching people and like I had this image of Australia as everybody surfing and the girls blonde on the beach. Really, I did. Because of all the surf movies and everything I've watched of Australia, and I'm here and it's like, it's the people are super cool and I'm having a great time, and the beach that I'm at is awesome. But at the same time, there's like a real, almost like America feeling to other parts of the country, right? And it's like just strip malls and guys going to work and guys lugging Christmas trees. You see people in a rush, things like that. And it's like when you're in a state where you're somewhere where you don't want to be, you just don't want to be there, and you don't really have any clue, how you're going to get out of it. But you're willing to hold on. You're willing to let the rocks hit you in the face and be totally clueless. Like, just don't know. Like, just don't fucking know. Like, how does a man get free in today's society? How the fuck does he do it? Like, what is the secret? Like, what? I don't have it. Like, it's not, sometimes it's fucking just holding on and knowing what you're aiming for. Just, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. Like, you got, there's all types of guys I know listening, and it's like, whatever the situation, you might not see any way out. But the guys that are willing to hold on and willing to fucking be in the unknown, but at the same time, like, just know there's a better way of living than the way that everybody else is doing it. There's a fucking better way. Like this, for men. For women, I think this society is fine. Like, they love shopping and, sitting in coffee shops and, I don't know, just doing stuff that everybody's just doing. Like, society is kind of made for women in a way. They love it. Shiny cars, everything, To me, it's meaningless. I don't have any need for it. But I think for men, like, finding masculinity and being yourself and kicking ass and actually living a life that is worth it, is sometimes really difficult to even imagine how it's going to unfold or even where it is, because everybody's got a different, like every man has a different path. You don't follow my path. You don't follow another guy's path. It's the spiritual path inside yourself. It's like, that is the same. That is definitely the same. But the actual specifics is going to be different. It's going to be different. But I think that being forced into a very painful choice can be a real good opportunity. And I just want to say quickly, like, for example, in my life, I was working as a headhunter in Tokyo, super stressed out. And I still have my image of myself as a surfer, like as a relaxed, paddling out. Like, we lived near the beach, and like for most of my childhood, most of it. After everything, the trailer park and everything, we moved to California, and it was beautiful where we lived, and I would look at the beach and I would go out there, we would paddle in the water, in the sun, and just everything that you see on the beach. And that was really my peace. That was where I proved myself. That was where I challenged myself. That's where my friends gathered. And it was very fucking awesome, and there wasn't many women either. Women did not go in the water back then. You didn't see any women surfers. I don't remember. There was 2 chicks at my school that were like, supposedly, like, I think they were like, no, actually not supposedly. These chicks were good. They were like twins, and they were like kicked ass in surfing. But I guess they were number 1 in America. I don't know. Either way, they were up there. So there was a couple women surfers, but I'd actually never surfed with them. Come to think of it, they were never out when I was out. But anyway, so I was out with all guys, and it was just all men out in the water. It was our own fucking community out there, like we helped each other, we saved each other, we did shit for each other, we made fun of each other, we challenged ourselves, we did everything out in the water. And it wasn't this fucking strip mall fucking life, that wasn't my life, so it is for me, like finding my new path is because I don't consider myself, I consider myself a waterman now, not really a surfer in a sense. Although I do surf, I play golf, I do a lot of things, but it has not been my choice to go the way of like the daily surfer living right over the beach. Like, I have a different path, although I like that path. I think that path is a great path. I see myself as different. So it's a subtle difference. So where you find that final, what do you call it? Like your whatever is it, like that road, that final road that I found in that dream, where you find that final like resting road where it's like you're safe and comfortable, that will be different, and it's going to be not an easy road to find that, and but I don't know, like I think that you don't need a plan, guys. You don't need a fucking plan, and you don't need to know what you're doing, and you don't even need to be smart. You don't need anything. You need to know where you're going, and you need to be able to hold on, and you need to freaking be around smart guys. That's it. You need that. You need other guys on the journey, because it is really hard to do this thing without that. Really hard. You need other guys with that kind of same mindset. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to get there. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do it. I don't know. Oh yeah, in Tokyo. Yeah. So I had a real quick, I thought of myself as a surfer, which is a relaxed guy, right? It's a fucking, and so what happened was I was headhunting, and it was super stressful. And all of a sudden I felt this feeling in my chest, like I was going to have a heart attack or something. I was only like 33. So I went to the doctor, and he treated me like shit, really. And he x-rayed me, and then he said, it's just stress. And I had never been to the doctor, and in fact, ever since then either, where when I went in, it wasn't serious. Because usually when I go to the doctor, it's fucking serious. It's been way overdue usually. So this was the only time when I went in, and he said, it's nothing medical. And I was like embarrassed and shocked. I was like, he said it's stress. And so I quit actually headhunting, and I went to India for 4 months, bought a motorcycle, brought my surfboard, surfed all up and down the coast, went all over India, man, every fucking little city. Oh, it was awesome. To the desert, to Pakistan, and it was a really great trip. But it was because I realized that my stress had risen so high that if I didn't do anything now, make a big decision, I was going to be one of these fucking drones on pills and all fucked up. And I'm like, fuck this shit. I ain't going to do this. I am fucking out of here. I'm making a decision. And for me, I needed to go to India. And that was an awesome decision for me. And I came back, and then I did headhunt again, but I had a different mindset. I understood that my body had limits and all that. So sometimes an emergency can be good for you. Sometimes it can be very good for you because it forces you to say, hey, fuck, this is not working. So if that does happen, I really put it down if you had that happen before. And I'm talking serious shit here. I'm not talking like you decided to fucking get a painting or something. You know what I mean? I'm talking serious shit. If you ever had that, I'd love to hear what you learned and how it went down and what you thought at the time and all that. Or if you're going through that now by total coincidence, I'd love to hear how you're feeling about it. But that's my thoughts today. I'm really looking forward to fucking the next couple days. I got a friend. I'm going to see a family for Christmas, and it's going to be awesome. But anyway, signing off. I just want to do a quick one, and hope you guys are good. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you guys, and we're gonna do. Hey, Sydney McDowell, maybe we should do a episode to kind of get ready for the summit if you're up for it. Anyway, I'm out of here. All right, have a good one, guys.